Okay. Yeah. We are back with a pod. I am so excited. I have Aniela here. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, you guys don't know me?
Rude.
My name is Aniela Leon, also known as Aniela.official.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome back to the pod, guys. I am so excited for today's topic because I love doing girl talk videos. I feel like they are interesting and saucy and juicy when you guys send in girl talk questions. So it makes me excited to talk about all the juicy topics. And I have a little latte here. Today's drink of choice that I have to drink is a caramel macchiato, but it's not from Starbucks. I got like the bottles you buy from freaking Target, and they're so good, guys. I always thought this wouldn't taste like real Starbucks, but it hits.
Does it taste like Starbucks or does it taste like the drink? Like
it doesn't taste like Starbucks.
It doesn't.
But it does taste like a nice caramel latte.
Okay.
And that I'm okay with. And so that, and then a little life update before we get into topics and questions that you guys asked about girl talk. I am obsessed with dirty chais right now. Guys, today I went to like a little cafe and they made me a dirty chai because I asked them what I should get. And then they were like, you should try a dirty chai. And you know, I've always been skeptical to try dirty chais because I feel like I don't really like chai that much, to be honest. Like I have to be in the mood for it. But he threw some espresso in there, made it dirty, and it hit so good. It was so good. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a whole different drink. So if you guys haven't tried it, try it. And also, do you have something you're obsessed with right now?
Oh my gosh, I walked into the cutest place today and I wrote it down for us to go to.
What is it?
It's called Bottega Louie. Bro, they have like, it is the cutest cafe I've ever seen. Like, I'm not even kidding you. We have to go.
Oh my gosh.
And they had all pastries and everything.
LA Rex.
Yeah.
Okay, also, what was it called?
Made me so excited.
Another thing I'm obsessed with right now, you guys, I was traveling back to LA and I was on the plane and I was like, okay, I love the show Sex Lives of College Girls. It's on HBO Max if you guys haven't seen it, and it's so good. And one of the actresses on there, her name's Renee Rapp. I didn't know that she makes music, but her music is so good. I sat on the entire plane ride and listened to her whole album and cried. It was really good, but it was sad and I cried. But it's really good and you guys should listen to it. So that's my current obsessions.
I've been currently obsessed with this like new artist, Morgan Wallen, and he's a really good country cackler, as we like to call him. Yeah, he's really good, and he sings this one really good song.
To get that close to the mic.
Oh, he sings the song, yeah, my outlook on life. Yeah, he's really good.
That was crazy. Live singing from Aniela. Thank you. Okay.
But it wasn't. Not drinking would take me back, but it...
Aniela, as much as I'd love for you to continue that,
shut up.
we're gonna get into some girl talk. We're gonna go and answer. I asked you guys on Snapchat and on Insta to send me like juicy girl talk questions that you guys have. And we've already done an episode like this where we did answering questions girls are too afraid to ask. So if you haven't seen that, go watch it. But we're gonna get into it. Okay, I'm just gonna look and pull some random questions. Someone said, advice on how to get over... Oh, my ringer's on. Advice on how to get over a boy who will probably never like you back. Oh. Do you have advice on this?
Yes. My advice is very straightforward, though.
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
That's what they need to hear sometimes.
See, I'm the type to be like, if this guy doesn't like me, then why do I even care about him?
Exactly.
So I'm sort of like, let's cut him out completely. Mm-hmm. So if he's, okay, it just depends. Like, if he's still, like, friendly with you or whatever, like, be nice and just, like, kind of annihilate him out of your head mentally.
Annihilate!
But if he's mean or if he's, like, not giving you, like, if he's not treating you right, then I'm, like, annihilate completely. Not just mentally, but also physically. Which means blocking or unfollowing on every platform.
Oh, wow.
And getting him, like, physically out. Because that's what you need to do. Because, no... We all know that we're going to go and check his little Instagram like every like 5 days and he's going to stay in your head if you don't.
Agreed.
So let's be real. If you actually want to get over this guy and you want genuine advice, there you freaking go.
I feel like I wouldn't block them or like unfollow because I wouldn't want him to get that note or like see like that I unfollowed.
Who cares?
So, but what I was going to say, I agree with you on the first part, was that it's an ick. If a guy doesn't like you back, your mindset should be like, that is such an ick because it means he doesn't have good taste. You know what I mean? Like if you know your worth and you know what you are and like who you are and what you bring to the table, and a guy doesn't see that, it's like, then ew,
right.
You know? Like I feel like I would just be like, ugh, get out of my face.
Can I say though? Yeah. Okay, the reason why I say this though is because like even though it might seem like, oh, the guy's gonna view this in a weird way, or like I don't want him to think that that I'm like emotionally hurt or something like that, like we think that, but honestly when it comes to like protecting your peace or whatever you want to call it, I think that's so much more important. And this guy is such a little tiny speck of your life.
Okay.
Like, you're going to meet another guy that you're, like, obsessed with, like, 2 months later. So it's true. Like, why don't we just get this one out of the way?
Okay, I do agree with that. I mean, I don't think they're going to sit there and, like, wonder why you unfollowed them. So, honestly, you could. But I'm just not an unfollower or a blocker. I am a muter. I will mute people on my social media and not look at them anymore.
Fair.
Because that's a one-sided thing. They never see it, you know? So, if you want to do that, if you want to go... Depends if you're an Aniela or a Niki. If you want to go mute their stories like I do, you could do that. Or you could just straight up block them. I don't think it matters either way, as long as you're getting over it, because you deserve better than that. That's like the bottom line.
Fair. It's just how soon you want to get over it. So that's just the difference.
Okay, maybe you're right. I'm like, she's convincing me while we're on here. Okay. Okay. This one hurts me. There are girls in my grade that talk behind my back, but I'm nice to them. Why? Listen, that has literally nothing to do with you, because when people have nothing to talk about and they're insecure, they have to find things to talk about. And so they'll pull out anything negative they can find on people around them and gab about it as much as possible, because it's kind of like it bonds people that are negative and insecure, because it's like, ooh, we're talking about something like secretive. Like, we don't want anyone to know that we're talking bad about all these people. But it's not like a good thing. It's like, that is sad that people have to sit around and they have nothing better to do but talk about negative traits about other people. So it has nothing to do with you, honestly. Whether you're nice, whether you were mean to them, they were going to talk about you regardless.
Wow. No, you said that so good. I never even, like, I thought that, but I didn't know how to say it in words, to be real. Like, that's so true, because girls, like, that I've even been friends with, I'll hear them like always like gossiping, talking about somebody, when I never thought once that about like a person that we're the same friend, we're like the same person, but it's like I never really thought those things of somebody, because I just don't think that way. Yeah. People that are just on that negative mindset, it just comes naturally almost.
Yeah, because they're searching for like negativity. Like, they see things that they don't like about themselves every day, so they look for things that they don't like about other people. Whereas if you're like confident and you like yourself, then you're gonna look for like positive traits in everyone you meet.
Yeah, it's like how you wire your the thing.
Yeah, so it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
and it's I opened someone's message, and it's just sad. Okay, so now I'm gonna answer this one because I clicked on it. What do I do if I have things that an old toxic fake friend got/made me? So I guess this is like, you had a friend, you're not friends anymore, you're not homies anymore, but they like made you things and got you things. Like, what do you do with them? Kind of like an ex situation.
Oh, they're an old toxic fake friend and they got you something. What do you do?
I'm like, it depends what the gift was.
It's like up to your discernment on that one.
Yeah. Okay. So I would say if it's like you still have that emotional attachment and you look at that and it reminds you of them every time you use it or like see it or whatever it is, then get rid of it, because that's just like whatever you hold in your space, in your room, in your like surroundings takes up energy. So if it's like sucking the energy, if you feel like it's sucking your energy out, and if you feel like it's sucking your energy out, then like take it out of your life. You know what I mean? But if it's just like a useful item that they got you, like, who cares?
Then keep it.
Yeah.
I'm literally tearing this apart. It's not.
Go for it, I'd yell it.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
Okay.
I would agree, yeah.
Perfect. We're on the same page. You know what? I'm going to read it.
Okay.
I'm struggling with fake friends at the moment. My best friend keeps leaving me for our other friend who bullied her in the past and is still rude to me and her. And I don't know what to do about it, because she used to tell me everything, but now she's pushing me away to talk to her. I feel like this happens to a lot of people, actually.
Can I read this again?
Yeah. So there's two best friends and... Wait, let me read it. Yeah, there's two best friends and... No, there's three girls in this situation. 3 people in this situation. and one of them is mean and has bullied them in the past. And so this girl's best friend is like gravitating towards the mean person, even though she was mean and still is mean.
To both of them.
Yeah.
But she's pushing her away now to talk to the other girl. Okay.
Interesting. I feel like this actually happens a lot to people.
No, it does. And it's weird how it works. But sometimes when we don't get approval from somebody, we crave it so much that like even like no matter how terrible of a person they are, you want to like cling because you want to kind of be like validated in a way of like, I am loved by like all these people, when really I've realized the people that you want to be valued by are the people that already like value you and care about you, not the people that you have to like chase for that.
That was such a good way to phrase it. It's almost like playing hard to get, like because they see them being judgy, they like crave that validation even more from that person. Oh, that's so true.
Because I've craved that with like best friends.
Yeah. Like
I'll have like a nice group of like girls. Like, okay, in middle school, I had like a nice group of like girlfriends. And then there were like the more like popular girls that like probably didn't even like me as much. But like I wanted to hang out with them. I always wanted to like be around them. But it was just like this like, it was a sense of like wanting validation from them.
Right.
To know that like I could be included.
But I feel like that's like a part of growing up. Like you want validation from people. And then when you're like a little bit older, you'll look back and be like, I never needed these people to like me because you're probably not going to talk to them in like 4 years anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of a waste of time. But I definitely see how you could get sucked into like wanting someone's validation. Because I was like that too. Like especially in like middle school and stuff where you're just like not a person yet. And you're like...
No, I've been in this exact scenario with the 3 girls.
Oh, really?
Like
I feel like I've been in this situation.
Yeah.
I feel like this is relatable.
No, I had a best friend, and then there was this like other like more popular girl, and me and my best friend, you know, I guess like I wasn't cool enough. She went to this other girl, who was like the more like popular girl, and they became like super, super close and like stopped including me.
Oh my gosh.
And it made me really sad. But I was like, why would she pick this girl over me? Kind of vibe. But I think it's like literally like what we said.
Yeah.
Because you don't get it. You really don't get it.
Well, yeah, get closer to the mic. I feel like, this has happened to a lot of people where you get dropped for someone who's like better, but like they're not better. It's just like what somebody sees as like popular or important to like win over. Yeah, there you go. And you're like, okay. I think that was good advice there. I think that was good. So, I don't know. What would you tell her to do in that situation?
Find other better quality friends.
Yeah.
Because you chasing either of those girls is not going to work. Let's be real.
And the thing with people like that is, like, they're not going to change. Like, so even though there's, like, someone negative in the picture now who's, like, bullied you and been mean to you in the past, maybe she gets out of the picture. But your best friend would probably do it again to, like, win over somebody who she sees as, like, superior or more popular.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but it really is that age group. Like, it is that time of your life.
Yeah. And I feel like this also happens in high school.
Yeah.
Like, it just happens when you're, like, growing up.
And then once you kind of get out of that age group, then you find people. And then the people that you find are usually also looking for people. So it's like you just...
Because you know what it is? I think when you're in middle school and high school, like, popularity is such a thing. Like, it's not a thing once you, like, get out of that world. Mm-hmm. But, like, when you're in those time periods, I feel like... popularity is like the thing. Like it's the only thing people think of, and also like how many friends you have is like the thing, which like doesn't really matter now that we're a little old.
Now it's like you can be selective, and you have more standards for friends.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. This is a good one. I'm so sad because almost all my friends' crushes like them back, but no one likes me.
We're both like breaking for each other.
I know.
Guys, this is so real.
This is real. Okay, that's like such a real problem. Like that's why I like asking you guys for scenarios, because it's just like I forget that these things happen, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember when I went through that, you know?
And I forget that it's not just me that thinks these things.
Yeah, this is real.
All of us are going through it, guys.
That's something to remember though. Like all of us go through this. Like all of us get rejected. Like all of us like go through these times where you feel like no one likes you. Like this is like so normal. But when you're like in that state, like I was like, oh, I'm the only weirdo, uncool person who feels like this in the world. But it's not true. Okay, so sad because almost all my friends' crushes like them back, but no one likes me. Aniela. What do you have to say on this?
Okay, for me, it's a little different because I've set this standard for myself where I'm like, this is the kind of guy I want. So it's more hard for me to find a guy that's like, I feel like, well, like qualified to like be in a relationship with, if that makes sense. But I get that feeling where I'm like, am I ever gonna find somebody? Like, I feel like nobody likes me. Like, I still seek validation because that's like human nature,
right?
To like want to be loved by others, and like you want a guy like to love you. Like, that's how we're like literally wired to be. So what I would say is, you're gonna find somebody, and it's literally all about timing.
Yeah.
And right now it's just not your time, and your friends' relationships that they're in and their crushes probably aren't gonna work out.
Yeah. I was gonna say that, like, just because your friends have guys that like them back doesn't mean they're good quality guys. Like, doesn't mean like they're these Prince Charmings that everyone's gonna get a fairy tale wedding like at the end of the year. Like, it's not on that, and like everyone's on their own timeline. Like, who knows? Some of these like guys that like them back could be like the worst heartbreak of their lives. So it's kind of like, take it as a blessing. You know what I mean? If no one's like coming into your life that's like worth spending your time on, then don't try to create that artificially, and stop looking for it, because it'll find you. And I kind of see that as like, if it's kind of like a period where you don't have a lot going on, work on yourself. Like do some reflecting. Be like, what do I like about myself? What do I not? What do I want to change? Because then you're going to be a better person and a better partner when someone does come along.
And there's nothing wrong with being single.
Ah, so true. Sorry, I forgot to add that.
Guys, being single is great. Like, we're both
single.
And honestly,
it's the way we both said it. Like, you're like, we're both single, and I'm like, we're both single.
No, we're both single.
We're both single.
Thriving.
We love it. No, I love it.
And I feel like this is the time where like I'm being prepped. Like, it's literally like a season of preparation and just getting ready for like that next season where like I'll be with a guy. But like you said, like this is the time where we're working on ourselves, so that when it is time for a relationship, we're ready to not rely on that person for what we need, but we're like already like full, and like then we're with another person.
That's what I was gonna say. You have to be at the point where you're okay being single or okay being in a relationship, and that your relationship status doesn't change how you feel about yourself. Because if you're not like that, then you're in a like point where you're searching and getting validation from everything outside of you. And if people don't like you back, it's gonna take like a real toll on how you feel about yourself. But if you're like fine on your own, I feel like that's when you find people, because it's like you don't really need them anymore. You don't really need it. And as soon as you have that energy of like, I don't need anyone, they always pop out of nowhere. I don't know why that happens, because it's like, oh, I'm finally good by myself. And then you meet someone and it's like, oh my gosh, now you're ruining my self-love moment.
Yeah.
But
no, and then you realize like, okay, once you have that season of singleness and like you're working on yourself and you're working towards like your goals and like you're finding validation with like you, after that point, when you meet a guy and just say it doesn't work, like it doesn't affect you as it would if you didn't already have that like firm foundation built when you're single. Because then you're like, well, I know who I am. So this guy not liking me doesn't really mean much compared to like if you don't know who you are and then a guy's hurting you, then you believe everything they say about you.
Oh, that's so true. Oh my gosh. You start to see yourself through their eyes, and it's like, it'll mess you up, because you'll be like so obsessed with how you look in this one person's eyes. And in reality, you can't really control that overall, like how someone looks at you and feels about you, because it's like kind of a reflection of them, how they look at themselves. You know what I mean? So you can never fully control that. And you're going to drive yourself insane if you're like, I wonder how he thinks about me, blah, 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 blah. Like, you have to be like good on your own. And then also, if it doesn't work out, like, yeah, someone could like you back, but then it doesn't mean it's going to work out. And then if you're already at the point where you were like, before this, I was fine. After this, I'm going to be fine. You're in a better place than like, I was waiting for someone to like me back, and this guy finally likes me back, and then it doesn't work out. You're going to be destroyed. So that's just how that goes. Okay. How to deal with toxicity. I feel like this could be like friends or relationship. There's also like family part of this, which is like hard. So I don't know.
Oof.
I feel like there's two types of toxic. There's toxic in a way of like people in your life that you can control, and like you have control over whether you spend time with them or not. And then there's toxic of like, I can't escape this. Like, it's like your family, like your, like even like sometimes like it'll be like your best friend of like years and years and years, and like you're like, I don't want to cut this person off, but it's like toxic. And I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, so it depends. Because if it's like that environmental toxic where you live with them,
Yeah.
then it's sort of about just like coping.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's so like coping for that, let's just give some advice on that one to start.
Yeah.
First things first, I would just make sure that the time that for me at least, like if I had like a stage where at home I didn't feel like the best, or like I like wanted to avoid going home, then I would just make sure like if I'm at I have like good friends to like hang out with, or like I would go to school and like enjoy that time of like not being home when home was like rough.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's
a good advice. Like I feel like even for me, like if there's periods of time where you don't like being at home, or like it's like something that you can't escape, like something that you live with that's toxic, it's like make yourself like a safe space. Like either find people on the internet that you can watch. Like for me, it was like a lot of that, or like artists that you like to listen to, and like things you can do alone and like isolate yourself from all that like will kind of help you recharge, and like you always have something to turn to where you can like be alone and be in a safe space. And I think like friends are like a big part of that too. Like just finding things to lean on that are kind of like comforting is important. But when it comes to people you can cut off, they're out of there.
Even community. Like
true.
finding like community. Like I would have like a Christian like youth group, and like going there is like you get to like kind of just like decompress, and like you're just there.
Or like joining clubs, like joining like organizations, like teams that you're just like a part of that you can kind of spend your time at. That's productive and that's like healthy. As long as you're like creating safe spaces for you to be at, because you can't always escape toxicity.
Yeah.
But there's like toxic friends and toxic relationships, and that's a different topic. I feel like I'm just going to give a brief on this because I feel like I could go a whole episode about toxic, but okay. I feel like toxic friends, the way I've dealt with it in the past is like distancing myself slowly, because I don't know. I just feel like that's the best way to deal with it. Like you just slowly phase them out. It's just you prioritizing yourself, and it's not being mean, and it's not rude to cut people off. Like I used to think it was like mean to cut people off, and like I was like, oh, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to stop talking to them, stop hanging out with them, or like say no to hang out with people. But I don't know. It's not mean to prioritize yourself and like protect how you feel if they're being toxic. Like there's no reason to put yourself around that, because there's so many good people out there that'll treat you better. And that goes for relationships too.
Yeah. And you can do it in a nice way, but it's not something to be like apologetic for, or be like sorry about, or like feel like you're being mean about, because it's just like you get to choose who you're around. You're going to end up being like the people you're around. So you can't just say yes to everybody. You can't be friends with everybody.
Yeah. And I'm gonna skip toxic relationships because I could do like literally an entire episode on that. But I mean, just know that you deserve better and get yourself out of the situation. That's the end of the day. Those are like my main points. And when you're in a toxic relationship really quickly, it'll feel like toxic relationships are different because they're hard, because it's like a toxic relationship doesn't always look toxic 100% of the time. And the same thing with friendships. Like you'll have really good moments with these people, and then randomly like on a day they'll put you down and make you feel like crap. And it's just a pattern of that behavior of like where they make you feel like crap like again and again and again. And it might be like you have really good moments with these people in between all of that. But at the end of the day, like they're detrimental to how you feel about yourself. And so I just want people to know that, because I feel like when you're in a toxic relationship, people are like, oh, he's not toxic. Like we still have so much fun together. But no, like if it's a pattern of making you feel like you're not good enough, that is toxic at the end of the day. So that's something you need to get rid of and get out of. I just want to say that. How a girl can build her confidence. Hey! Let's go. I feel like we're both like confident girlies. What's your advice on this?
How can a girl build her confidence? Gosh. These are such like loaded questions, bro.
Yeah.
These are like full episodes.
It's so we can like, but it's like nice because we can like say our different views on it.
Yeah. Okay, how a girl can build her confidence. For my own experience of building confidence.
Yeah.
My definition has changed over time.
Ooh.
It started in like middle school and high school is sort of being, I don't know, I guess sort of like rude.
Really?
Yeah, more of like a rude, like, I was more cold-hearted, I would say. Like a cold-hearted confidence. Like sort of like, I felt like more like deserving of like, guys, like sort of like, you don't deserve me, like blah, blah, blah. Like if you don't like me.
Just like hard standards, I feel
yeah.
like. Okay.
More like hardcore like vibes.
Right.
Like sort of like, you know, like.
This is a podcast. Like someone's like listening to you like shake your
shoot. I don't know. You guys know, like literally like just confidence. Like I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm confident.
Mm-hmm.
But did I really like, was that like confidence that actually had a foundation? No. It was sort of just like.
A persona.
Yeah, like a confidence persona. And like I believed it until, like I convinced myself until I believed it, basically. Like of being it. And now I feel like it's like a full on like, I know who I am.
Yeah.
Like I know who God says I am. So that's what I am. Like I'm deserving, like, okay, I'm Christian, for you guys that don't know.
Yeah.
So like, whatever. I feel like I'm deserving of like a certain standard of a man. Mm-hmm. But then also in a way, I don't want to like expect these things from people that don't have the same morals.
Yeah.
So I'm not judging the people that don't, but it's just sort of like, I want a guy that like matches up with that.
Yeah.
So that's where my confidence comes from.
Interesting.
That makes any sense. So
I know. Confusing. Sometimes I ramble on here and then I'm like, does anyone know what I'm talking about anymore?
Guys, I'm really sorry. I didn't know what I'm saying.
Okay, I think confidence, like, it's so loaded because I say this all the time, but just because you're a confident person doesn't mean that you don't have, like, insecurities at all. Like, I think people have, like, this misconception that a confident girly has, like, no insecurity. She knows who she is. She walks in every room feeling confident. Everyone looks at her. She has this energy about her and everyone's just like, dang, like that girl like has it together. But like the reality is like even like really confident people like have their days where they don't like themselves and like don't like have insecurities and stuff. So just because you feel like that doesn't mean you can't be confident. I think like the thing about it is like realizing that you have those insecurities, but not letting it like eat at you as much. I don't know how to explain this. Like, you're gonna have insecure days whether you're confident or not. Like, that's just like a thing. But I think that the key to confidence is like stop making it about how you think you look. Because as long as you know, like, place your confidence in your strengths. If you know you're funny, like, be confident in that. Like, get your confidence from that. If you know that you like have an amazing personality, it shouldn't matter what you think you look like any given day, because at like your heart and your like personality, you have so much to offer. And so I feel like that's like the key to like remaining confident, even when you feel like you don't look good or feel like, you know, you just like aren't good enough. And the thing is, like, everyone feels like that. So like you can't walk into a room and like focus on things that you're insecure about, because everyone's doing that anyway. So you might as well like look for things that you like about yourself. And like no one's paying as much attention to you as you think they are at the end of the day. Ugh. Okay, that was my rant on confidence.
Oh, yeah, I have one more thing to add.
Add.
Okay, I also think, as I was, you know, marinating in the question.
Yeah, Aniela was sitting there.
I was really thinking. Okay, I also think confidence has a lot to do with like just being bold in what you believe in, and like not being afraid to like say or state your opinion on things.
That's so true.
When you know like that's what you believe. Like not just like going with like what the crowd thinks, or like even if you're like at a party and like you don't want to drink, but you want to like hang out with your friends and like have fun. Like standing up for what you believe in and not being like pressured into like what seems.
No, I completely forgot to talk about that. Like I feel like that is confidence, is also like knowing who you are and knowing that even if it's not accepted by everyone or if that's weird for some people, like okay. Yeah. Like that doesn't affect you, because how you see yourself isn't based on how other people see you.
Yeah.
That honestly is like the biggest point about it.
That's confidence.
That's the meat of it, okay? Yeah. That is the
coconut meat, baby. The rest is just the water.
Yeah.
It's because I was drinking this. Coconut water.
I'm making that a clip on TikTok.
Good.
The rest is just the water. I just want to get a few more in here.
How do I get you?
Ooh. Someone said high school anxiety, and I feel like that's like a good thing to touch on.
Yeah.
High school anxiety. Well, that's just like a topic. But it's not really a question. But I kind of get what they're getting at here.
Just being anxious about like going.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was like being in it. Because like I would always go to high school, like I would always go to school like super anxious and like I feel like, is that like normal? Like I would always just like go to school like being like anxious in the morning and being like, I don't know, like there's just so much going on in high school. It's like you're worried about seeing certain people, you're worried about like seeing your crush and like not being embarrassing, and then it's just like, I don't know, like there's just always so much going on.
Is also going on.
Yeah, there's like tests going on at the same time that like your friends like you're going through like a friend breakup, and then like you're worried about like you do something embarrassing in front of your crush, and there's like a million things going on.
You don't know if your mom's gonna pick you up or like the bus.
See, like high school's just a lot. I don't know what to say on that topic, but it's not helpful at all.
Just don't be anxious for real.
Don't be anxious for real, for real.
Be anxious.
Okay, can I just say, like, looking back on high school, there's not many moments that that stick out and, like, I remember and I'm like, that was okay, I have a few, obviously. But, like, wait, do you have, like, embarrassing high school stories? Like, do you remember anything that, like, really cringed you out that you did?
That I did?
Mm-hmm. I can tell a story.
Okay, tell.
No, wait, do you have one?
I mean, I was cringy.
All right, I'm going to tell you guys a story because just to prove to you that everything's not that deep. I was in high school. I'm going to tell a story to Aniela. I was in high school and I really, really liked this guy freshman year. And I thought he was like the most dreamy person. I saw him at a party in the 8th grade. And so when I went to high school and saw him again, I was like, it's fate. When in reality, we just went to like the 2 middle schools that merged into one high school. But to me, it was fate that I saw him again. And so I was like, I got to make my move at some point this year, you know? So I would... I love this. I can't believe I'm telling you. So I would like slowly try to like get in with him. Like I'd see him walking to the bus and I'd like put my hand up for a high five. And he would like high five me, but like look so confused. And I was just like, I'm in there. Like we are making, like I thought I had the best riz in the game at this point. Like I was like, I am winning this guy over. Like he is falling hard. And so then there's one day that everything went downhill. And I was sitting at an assembly with my friend. And you know how your friends make you make bad decisions. So I blame her, but he was sitting behind us and she was like, you know what you should do? I was like, what? And she was like, you should give him your number. And I was like, but he didn't ask for it. But he didn't ask for it. She was like, just do it. Just like give him your number because it's like, it's a bold like girl boss move. Like he's gonna love it. And I was like, and I knew this was a bad idea at the time. Like I remember sitting there being like, I don't know, but I was literally gaslit by my best friend into being like, this is a great freaking idea. Like she is right. Like a confident girl would just do this and not think twice about it, which is low-key true. But he didn't like me. So I took a Post-it out, like wrote my number on it and like waited till the end of the assembly. And then we were all getting up to leave. I was like, hold on, and like handed him my number, and I saw him drop it in the hallway like 2 minutes later.
That's just mean. He could have so kept it.
He could have waited to throw it out, but I was just like, you know what? Whatever. But I think like down the line he started liking my stories and stuff. Like I think he was like into me like after, you know, high school ended and stuff. But it was too late. You know what I mean? And that's something I want to say too. Like a lot of my high school crushes like hit me up after high school.
Yes, me too. Bro.
Yeah. And it's like, no, you can't have me now. You can't come in now. Like now I'm cool and like confident and like I'm not a weird girly anymore and like you don't deserve this.
No, it's literally like the movie we were watching last night. He like waited till like the last night to like make a move.
You can't have me at my worst. You don't deserve me at my best. But yeah, I still hold a grudge against that kid. Just kidding. But that was awful. I remember like I was so delusional. I still sat at my computer and was like waiting for a text from him, even though I know he like didn't have my number anymore. I was like so But my point of the story is that anything you do in high school that is like so embarrassingly end of the world, cringy and terrible and embarrassing doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like no one remembers it. And like,
yeah, and you're not gonna really see those people.
And I probably did so many other cringy things and I just have no memory of them. So, you know, it's like, do whatever you want and live your life. At the end of the day, when I'm old and like wrinkly, I'm going to be so happy that I did that, because like, what if I never did? And then I'd be like, what could have happened? You know, that was a hard rejection, but you know, it's like, at least you did it. At least you lived your life. So if you're anxious about high school, like literally just do whatever you want, live your life, have the best time ever, and stop stressing, because life gets real after, and you just need to be a kid and enjoy it. Thank you guys I hate saying thank you.
Thank you so much for watching.
Ew. Should we do like an ASMR outro?
Yeah.
I'm gonna slurp my coffee for you guys.
Okay.
It like blows their ears out.
Sorry, guys.
That's some ASMR for you. Ooh. Little bug in the room. I love you guys so much. I hope that this was helpful, hearing from our experience and advice. I feel like this is so entertaining to me. Like, I'm having so much fun. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. And if you did, make sure to follow the pod, and also subscribe if you're not subscribed already on YouTube. Also, I got questions from Snap and Insta today. So if you want to go follow me, my socials are at Niki_Patton on everything. And it has 1K in it, not 2.
And you'll have a chance to get featured in this podcast. So.
Yes. And my YouTube videos. So yeah, I love you guys, and give this video a thumbs up and rate the pod. Give the pod 5 stars if you have a second. And I love you guys, and go follow Aniela, and I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Talk to you in the next one. Bye. Oh my gosh. Forehead kiss. Mwah.